Hello and welcome to this Mystic Frequency Tarot reading. I'm Lisa and I'll be your tarot reader today. We are going to utilize January's moon, which is also known as the wolf moon, to uncover how its symbolic nature will be affecting the collective. This isn't the only name it goes by or has even been called over time. Its currently well-known name gets this title for wolves howling more frequently in the cold, hungry, and bitter winter. The other names was Old Moon, Ice Moon, Cold Moon, Severe Moon, and Moon After Yule. It represents survival, resilience, reflection, new beginnings, and the deep cold of winter. And it has a lot of spiritual significance. And it's tied to rituals for new energy, inner strength, prosperity for the year ahead. January 3rd will be the first moon of the year, and it will be a super moon. And just a little bit into the moon calendar for January 2026, the new moon will be on January 17th. The first quarter will be on January 25th. And then the waxing gibbous moon will be closer towards the end of the month. Something really cool about this moon, if you do have the opportunity and can view it, the Quadrantids meteor shower will coincide with this moon. However, it will be very difficult to see because of how big and how bright the moon is. But it'll have these short but intense bursts of meteors, and you can see them looking towards the northeast. You may not see how the subtle changes are working because of the current state you are in, but there is an intense burst. This intense change is bursting through. And that's what I love about this moon and the synchronicities that are just appearing for the collective. So a full moon in Cancer is going to be working with this moon, and it'll be very highly emotional in an intuitive time where themes will revolve around your home, your family, the emotional security you are in, and how you take care of yourself. And speaking of taking care of yourself, think of the fact that we are entering into Capricorn at the beginning of this month, and then we'll be leading into Aquarius. But the Capricorn, it's about structure, ambition, and external responsibilities. And when you have Cancer at play, it's what is it that you're working on that you shouldn't be working on, and how is it allowing you to neglect your needs, your emotional needs, your emotional well-being, the emotional well-being of your home and your family. This moon will allow you to release a lot of things that are revolving around your emotions, especially if they are suppressed. And it will also help you bring back that nostalgia, so that way you can look at past memories or unhealed wounds and be able to resolve them. Back to that focus on home and family. Turn attention inward. Find a safe and comfortable space where you are able to reconnect with your loved ones and address family dynamics. There's this balance that needs to be addressed, and I can't stress that enough with this moon. Duty versus caring. The professional goals and responsibility versus the personal emotional needs. Your intuition will be really heightened during this time, and it'll be an inner compass towards the emotional truths that you are being led to. Your vulnerability, if I can speak, and this, because it's such an emotional time period, your words are all over the place, your emotions are all over the place, and you're being asked to be vulnerable, especially when you're so used to doing for others. How can you allow yourself to be vulnerable? How can you ask for support rather than always being strong for others? And I love that about this moon. And normally I will do a script topic that I doodle out, but because of time and pressure to get this video released before the moon comes in. However, whenever this reading finds you and you feel called to click in on it, there is still information that your guides are trying to bring to you, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be January or that we need to have a full moon. There's just something you need to release, something you need to be more vulnerable with. So here are the topics that we will be putting light to from the moon. And so we have our crystal icebreakers for each pile. This last pile over here will be the pile that I upload to my Patreon account. And if it does call to you, you can always take this as an added benefit to add to whatever theme is being played, because I have seen just about every theme that has been expressed in this pile has somehow ended up in this end pile. And I will make sure to have the link below. In the previous video, I did have issues with Patreon. I had to send an email out to their team so they can lift a restriction because I'd never used the account and I selected the wrong thing. And if you were waiting for that previous video to be uploaded, it is now uploaded. And when you do pay for the subscription, in the description box for the 5th pile, you will see a link, so that way you will be able to click into that link and put it into your browser, so you can actually go straight to the YouTube if you didn't want to go straight to Patreon and consistently watch this whenever you needed to hear it. So we have these crystal moon icebreakers. Then we're going to look at the energy that's going to be coming through after we've broke the ice. And then once we see the energy, we're going to see how these self-care affirmations and allowing our inner child to come in will help them hold this energy, so that way we don't have to hold it as much anymore or keep from our inner child. Then we're going to focus on what release needs to be focused on, what challenge is bringing resilience, because this moon is about resilience, working through something that may be dark. And then we'll look at the charms, the Scrabble, and then the debrief. But I digress. I'm excited for this. I'm a big moon child, and I just have always been fascinated with the moon. I've been if I can speak, I'm just really excited for this. I was trying to push myself off from doing this reading later in the evening, but I just can't. I want to get into this because I enjoyed doing this so much, and I wanted to be able to share it quickly with y'all. But let's go ahead and set our benevolent intentions, so you receive the right information, and it gives you a chance to kind of look at the pile as we are setting our benevolent intentions. So benevolent spirit guides, ancestors, divine creator, and the highest good versions of ourselves we can become, help guide those to select a pile that will resonate with them to bring light from this January moon. Please show them what energy is hidden, but working alongside them, as well as what form of self-care they should be practicing with their inner child, so they may be able to release responsibilities that may not be their own. Help reveal the challenge that will bring resilience. Thank you for your unlimited support always, with much love from your students and teachers. And if you heard me say responsibilities and it sounded like Tommy Pickle in the Rugrats movie where it says, I've got responsibilities. Maybe that's how you feel right now, and you are this child that has responsibilities and you don't want them anymore. So let's go ahead and do our 3 deep breaths. Let's go ahead and breathe in. We need to focus. And then breathe out. And then when we breathe in, we're releasing. Breathe out. And then this last one, we're going to allow ourselves to receive. Breathe in. Breathe out. All right. If you are ready to jump in your pile, go ahead and look into the description box and select the pile. And we're going to head on out, guys. I'll see you whether you are in this pile, this pile, this pile, or this one. Hi, pile one, and welcome if you are coming from another pile, my dear friends. Let's illuminate what this wolf moon is howling about. And I love that you chose this. I'm a big purple fan. Amethyst Phantom Quartz. Expression, gifts, originality. Amethyst Phantom Quartz fosters prolific energy and opens the crown chakra to channel creativity in all its forms. Individuality is encouraged and uniqueness and expression is embraced by this stone. Amethyst Phantom Quartz instills confidence in your creations and urges you to share your talents, using intuition as a powerful resource. Amethyst Phantom Quartz connects you with your spiritual team to convey your ideas in a way that will stand out. Do yourself a favor and show the world what you've got. Do yourself a favor and show the world what you've got. The desire to express creativity is really coming through with this moon, where unique art is expressed, your originality, songs that are different from the pack. It's the choir story. It's happy feet dancing a different dance, but in a safe space. It's the urge to share these talents, and it's expressing ideas that stand out in the dark. It's those graffiti marks, those anonymous known signatures is what's coming through. So let me kind of talk about this ability to express yourself, because this pile here, I really do feel you are my expressive group, and you use art in whatever form or shape it may be to channel your inner wounds, your memories, your emotions in an effective way, so that way you may be able to process them. And hopefully I don't close up whenever I talk about this. And I hope that if this is my bunch of groups or individual group, my collective group that likes to sing, this is for y'all. So that way y'all can take the story that I'm about to give you. And so you may have more confidence to keep shining and not close your throat chakra up where it prevents you from singing the song that you do want to sing. So when I was in choir years ago in my junior high, our instructor felt the need to move the sopranos around so others felt more confident to sing if stronger personalities were around. I ended up drawing a spot that was right next to what we called the non-singers, who wanted an art credit but didn't want to do the work. Even though the teacher wanted them to pitch in more, they only hummed one note. And that one note was fake mouth movements. And it was noticeable where the weak spot to our course was whenever we would practice. And back then, the kind of kid I was very scared to get in trouble. And their lack of care made it harder to sing, especially when the teacher was watching the specific direction we were in. And when I mean they were watching, it was like a hawk was watching us. And then there was this day that the teacher called on us to practice as a group, where they selected 4, me being part of the 3 that were not singing. And we had to actually sing in front of, and this was a choir group of 60 girls. And think about junior high and peer pressure. And I did not have good self-esteem back then. And being in choir was one way for me to feel like I was belonging to a frequency. And so I was put on the spot with these 3 other girls. And I could not make a good note come out of my throat. And the girls in front of me started to chastise me, and they started to make fun of me and blamed me for being the reason the teacher even called on us, even though they were the ones that were not singing. And because they were put on the spot and because they actually had to do something in that moment, rather than taking ownership over the situation and realizing that they needed to actually pitch in if they wanted this chorus to sound good, they said I shouldn't have even joined choir because I didn't sound good singing next to them. And they accused me as being the reason they were picked on by the teacher. However, in the moment, because they were the type of girls that like to talk out loud, but anytime someone looked at them and gave them the exact same energy that they were giving to someone else, it was like hyenas running away from a lion. And my instructor in that immediate moment said that the only person that they could ever hear singing was my voice, and how my fellow classmates only cared about sitting back and chewing gum. And she stood up for me in that moment. I still think about that to this day, and I love that choir teacher. And because she wouldn't let someone pick on someone else, and she was that type of teacher, if you were going to come into a class and think that you're going to chew gum and sing at the same time, she would give you detention for it. And they ended up dropping out of choir because this teacher would not let up on them. And I felt, and I hadn't even thought about this memory in so long until I got that card and this pile. And I want you to know that your voice is unique. It's different from everyone else. And if you had people around you that wouldn't let you express your voice, I want you to use this moon to express your voice, because you deserve that. You deserve to be able to express yourself, express the things that you want to speak about. Your voice and creative art expression needs a safe space in order to develop and thrive. And there is a wolf trying to match your energy, trying to match your pitch so you can. The inner critic and people of your past are whispering louder than your thoughts. And like I said, I am in a much better place now as an adult. And my kids will attest to this because I have no problem singing around them specifically. I sing around people I am the most comfortable with. And those comfortable people are my children, my sister, and my husband. Those are the only three. And through this video, I'm able to actually publicly speak. Even though I am not actually in front of you, because I am in a better state of mind with a better hold on my self-esteem, I'm able to express to you and channel what Spirit has shown to me over the years, so that way I could show it to you, and then you be able to take these lessons and tell those girls that they can go off if they're not going to participate. And it also makes me think of theater. Maybe you like theater. Maybe you were a theater kid, because that was another thing that in junior high, I did choir. And then for the first 2 years of my high school, I did theater. And it was through a connection I had with a girl that was in our theater department that had tarot cards. And that made me called to go get tarot cards for myself. But I got an oracle deck. And that was the first thing I did. And that was back in 2011. So the people around us, there are people that are going to help us express these talents in unknown ways. You may think you're jumping into a group, but in reality, it's opening this door up for something that you never thought that you were going to create, because I never thought I was going to do this. So you may not know that the skill, the gift that you have is what it is that you are going to be doing with your life. So use your creative talents. Use them. So let's look at the energy that is coming in now that we broke the ice. And we have the camel. And this camel is fire energy because it's in the desert. And fire creatures help lead us toward change. They lead us from ego to our best self, where our best self is choosing integrity. And it appears often when there's conflict or discomfort at present, because like I said, I was feeling very closed off, like as if people were watching me, watching my move, listening to how I speak, if I squeaked, if I messed a note up. But it was better to mess a note up than to not even have a note to sing. And this is the elixir that will help you with transformation. And fire is the only thing that transforms darkness into light. This camel right here is very resourceful. It's independent and it knows one's self. It has the confidence to handle absolutely anything by giving the things we need to feel good overall with our own hands. The energy to walk a desert with ease and not wasting it where it will burn out. It's knowing the direction one goes, where water holes are along the way, and prepare for only situations. So situations, think of desert storms where you're going to need a blanket to cover you so your eyes don't get dusted. These water tanks that you may put on your pack with you. So if you go to a water hole and you find that it is contaminated or it is dry, for some unknown reason, you have the water on you in order to do so. It's finding cooling methods for judgment or extreme emotions when pushed to the limits. It's essentially balancing opposite types because this is a fire card, but within this camel there is water. It's taking responsibility for our reactions. And this camel is the energy needed to take a trip. When this card is balanced, it's calm, it's content, and it has this sparkle in its eye. When you don't feel balanced, you are dehydrated and you lack vitality. And I feel like if you did draw this card, if you are a singer, find ways to loosen your throat. And one of the methods that was given to us is avoiding milk before a rehearsal or during a performance because it restricts the cords, or sugary drinks. Actually drinking warm or room temperature water will also assist with this. Or if you are somebody that just normally doesn't think about water, find ways to incorporate water into your diet and let the way it makes you feel, see how it's going to bring you more vitality. It's going to make you think a lot better. And I've actually got a insight in one of my pages I have on YouTube where it's like Insights Discovered. I love watching sciencey, nerdy, psychology kind of videos, and I came across this video that talked about the benefits of drinking water and what it does. And I believe it was through the Institute of Human Anatomy. I encourage y'all to go and check that out so that way you can feel rejuvenated every time you drink water. But this is to not waste your energy with the wrong people, because that memory is allowing me to waste my time thinking about those people and remembering the feeling and letting it close me up in the present. Don't let people hold energy in your mind. And because this does help you figure out ways to deal with your emotions. It lets you see the way others tend to react to, avoid, or overcome obstacles. And it's using these dark themes to create art that lights up the world and gives relief to self and others. Excuse me. I'm telling you, it's amazing how, like, when I am channeling different readings, how I get these different types of energies. And I know I'm not wearing my rings today, but I needed for my I know I'm not wearing my other wedding ring, but I've recently lost some weight, and every time I put the ring on, if I make a hand movement, my ring flies off, and I didn't want to lose it. So I am married, for those that were wondering. Happily married. And my mood ring in the last readings that I was doing, I was channeling somebody that was very anxious, and I could feel them pulling on to everything I was saying and holding it to heart. And I want you to understand you do have a safe space with me, and you always will. And if you want someone to see your art, I am always going to support your doodles. I doodle. If you want someone to hear your voice, I will hear your voice. And you deserve to have that safe space. You deserve to have that person that supports you. And this channel is to help support you, to help support those in the collective that wish somebody would pick them up from the dark and show how bright and lit that they actually are. But let's look at the self-care and the inner child focus that's going to help you during this moon. And for years, this is why I think I am pulling somebody from another reading, because this one came out in another reading and it's come out in another reading before that. Gift yourself a small piece of rose quartz to wear. And I went ahead and hunted down this card in my crystal deck so I can talk about this with y'all. And this is rose quartz. It's love, it's nurture, it's romance. Calling in unconditional love, rose quartz invokes a gentle yet powerful feminine energy that nurtures and protects your heart. It can be used to attract new romance and to build closer bonds in your relationships. Rose quartz opens the heart chakra and reveals heartache, grief, and any unexpressed emotions. It asks that you show yourself compassion, forgiveness, and acceptance. Rose quartz, oh my goodness. You really need some love. A lot of love, pile of one. Rose quartz also inspires beauty in all forms. Allow your heart to the beauty within you. And if you don't mind, I am going to drink some water. Oh my goodness. If you are afraid to drink water while on camera or in the middle of a stage, if you are publicly speaking, do yourself the favor and go ahead and take that drink. But allow yourself to see how beautiful you are, beautiful your work is, even if it's in the beginning stages. Sometimes that's when you find the most inspiration. Oh my goodness. Pile one. Oh, I'm sending you love vibes right now as we speak, so you can use your voice to be expressed and look into throat chakra ways that help you open your throat up, especially if you have a difficult time expressing yourself. All right, so let's look at your inner child, a time to remember. A photograph can be a powerful tool on your inner child journey. What we feel for our inner child can be addressed as we look at images of our younger self. Create space to look through the photographs of your childhood. Gaze at each image and practice sending love, acceptance, forgiveness, or whatever you need to the little you. Maybe this is someone that needs a locket with a loved one to remember by. Or even maybe you need to carry a locket with you. And it's not so much a loved one. Whatever emotion you feel for the individual that you are picturing of currently, that you wish you could carry with you, I want you to replace that picture with you instead. The love you feel from them will carry you always. And they want you to feel the love that you feel for them, for yourself. And I really feel like they're grieving for you to stop grieving them and to take care of your needs. And when I was looking at this picture, and I was looking at the picture last night while I was channeling and pulling readings, look at this reflection that's being reflected. And when I seen it, it made me think of the Lion King. And so you may feel encouraged to watch the Lion King. Or even if you don't want to watch The Lion King, I look up Lion King where Mufasa is by the water, or not Mufasa, but Simba is by the water. And you can even say Mufasa's ghost, Lion King. And it's the scene where Rafiki is running through the jungle or the safari where they are. And Simba's chasing after him because he has this inclination that Rafiki knows where the king is, that the king is not dead. And so he takes him to the water, and Rafiki says, "Look, there's the king, there is Mufasa." And so Simba gets excited and he looks down and he sees the reflection. And he becomes very disappointed with what he sees. And he's like, "That's not my father, that's just my reflection." And Rafiki says, "No, look harder. You see, he lives in you." And then that's where Simba has this voice that sounds like his father, Mufasa, and it says, "Simba." It's almost like he's disappointed. "Simba, you have forgotten me." And Simba was like, "No, how could I?" And Mufasa was like, "You have forgotten who you are, so you have forgotten me. Look inside yourself, Simba. You are more than what you have become. You must take your place in the circle of life." And Simba is like, "How can I go back? I'm not who I used to be." And Mufasa says, "Remember who you are. You are my son and the one true king. Remember who you are." And I had to write that down. But when I was watching that short clip, I was crying. I'm going to say I am a big baby when it comes to movies, and Lion King is really close to me. And that movie may be really close to you as well, especially if you do have a father that's coming through, or just somebody that had that emotion that Simba had for Mufasa that's coming through. They don't want you to forget yourself because you hold a lot of the qualities that that individual had. Maybe they like to sing. Maybe they liked to create art just as well. Maybe there is something about this person that's coming through that this moon is highlighting for you to create a solution in, because your emotions are all over the place. Like my emotions were all over the place yesterday during this get together I was doing. And I just want to let y'all know I am well. My family, every now and then when they enter the room, when they know I'm doing a reading, they will either hear me laughing to myself or I will be crying because I'm channeling something here. And I want you to find a time to remember this person, whoever was in your childhood that is no longer with you, that wants you to express the gifts and talents that they had themselves, because that's who you are. So let's look at the release that you need to be focusing on. And you have the Two of Wands, and here is synchronicities. So in my last video, I talked about January, and this is before I even knew that this card and what it meant and who Janus was. But January was named after the Roman god Janus. Here he is in all his glory in your pile. Pile 1. And think about it, pile 1. January is the first month, and that's when I'm doing this reading. But Janus is coming through, and Janus is connecting with you personally. So Janus has the ability to look to the past and the future to make effective decisions in the present. And he is always in motion. He's never stopped, and he's just going. And he connects dreams with actual possibilities. So your dreams are going to have a significant importance to you during this time period or whenever this reading finds you. And you need to be paying attention to them, because whatever is being revealed to you is going to help you start making this trip towards this journey, this destination where you're supposed to be going. And and this was upright, but because there's something you need to release, it's indecisions, it's doubt, it's the fear of unknown, and it is playing it safe. Maybe you're playing it safe. Maybe you're only creating art and putting it up in your home. And you really do want to create art that you can actually see in a museum. Or maybe you're singing, but you're only singing at home. Or maybe you're only singing at small revenues, or playing music instruments in a band full of multiple individuals. Even though there's like this desire to go out and find your own unique, what's the word? Your limelight that only shines on you is what I'm getting. And it's like anytime the light shines on you, you're like, who, me? Did you mean you're looking at me? It's like you're being called. Someone's seen you doing something and you're being called on. Who, I did that? No, I didn't do that. But you have the key in your hand. So obviously you unlocked something. Even if you didn't think you were unlocking something, you were unlocking it. What are you waiting for? What are you wanting to create? If you have a creative block with too many roads, go somewhere different and look at someone else's inspiration or style. Try other people's doodles out and not worry about how it turns out. And this also goes for singing. Try other different types of music out. If you've never sung country, maybe sing country. If you've never sang rap, sing rap. If you've never sang whatever theme or style it is, that does not mean I can rap. And if you don't know it by my accent, I am from the South. I may not have a drawn out accent, but every now and then I do pick it up whenever I rewatch my videos. I'm from the South, guys. And even though I want to sing pop, I always find that I can do country. So try other people's art, the way they express things out for yourself. Go to a museum, go to an orchestra, go to a choir, or actually go to a band that's playing. Go to a place with beautiful architecture. Look at the old and newer styles. How can you combine the two to express yourself in the present? And if you enjoy music or want something different from the algorithm, select random. But ultimately, don't stop creating even when things seem dark or dry. Sometimes our tears of grief or joy create the plant needed to be reflected and released on a canvas or a sheet of paper. Past mistakes or living trapped in memories need to be released to move forward. A big fish in a pond cannot thrive if it is no longer suitable for its environment. Simba had to return once he was mature, and only then did he realize it wasn't his fault for his father's death. Maybe there's a situation that you thought you were in the wrong the entire time, but the instant that you went back to it, you realize it wasn't even your place to be holding that kind of grief or that sorrow or the resentment or remorse over what you didn't do or the things that you didn't say. Maybe you wanted to say something, but you didn't say it, and now the time has passed. And all you can think about is that memory. But don't let those things hold you back any longer. The challenge that is building our resilience, and I love that the Three of Wands came out, because the Two of Wands shows somebody holding two wands, or they have one wand in their hand, they have the world in their other hand, and the other one is standing on the side, and it's this door where you have the ability to walk through it, but you're trying to decide what road to take. And then once you know what road to take, then you know where your calling is. The Three of Wands is providing opportunities that call you, that invite you. These are people that are inviting you out. These are circumstances, situations that are inviting you out of your comfort zone. And the Three of Wands, I said lawns. Maybe you need to go out to your lawn and look at the stars. Or maybe you want a really lush garden. Maybe you want a pond. You just want something that calls to you. And don't allow yourself to let imposter syndrome creep in and make you scared to try. You are not stealing when exploring your art's expression. The only time you are stealing is when you take someone's art off the wall and say it's yours. It's when you're taking someone's music and saying it's yours. You are creating something. So these are your muses that you are looking towards. These are the muses of the past and the muses of potential future that are helping you create in the present moment. So what if you sound like another artist? So what if you enjoy making content like others? So what if you love reading and writing specific book genres? Star Wars, Hamlet, and The Lion King have similar plot lines, but are still treasured in their own rights to exist, and so should you. Say yes to everything that is coming. Leave the door and go where your feet take you. Look closely at sell-by dates and calendar options to prevent the chance from passing you by. This is museum events, this is concerts, this is anything that has a limited time. Look for it so you don't miss the opportunity. Look for challenges day to day to put a pep in your step and routine. And the number 3, this is the creative person, the communicator, the influencer, the trendsetter, and it's amplifying your big ideas with infectious energy. Regardless if you think it or not, you are a very infectious person. You may not see the love that you have, that you give to others, and how infectious it is. But when this comes in and this comes in, and we have the Three of Wands, you are very infectious. And people are looking at you and wanting to put a spotlight on you. So let's go ahead and get your Scrabble and letters out. If you will just give me a brief moment. All right, here's your charms and your Scrabble. So if you've seen this and you're like, I have no idea what that means, don't worry. I didn't either. Whenever I was like wondering, why am I hearing Ipuru? Why am I hearing that? I don't know what that means. And I went and put it into Google and I came across Kuipuru. So Kuipuru is, or this right here, Kuipuru, is from South America, from the Aymara area. And I miswrote Scrabble and charms in my journal as Scrabbles and letters instead. And whenever I seen this, I only had this information in front of me. And I only had the letters I, Ipiru, and it kept repeating even though I didn't know what it meant. So I Googled it, and that's when I came across Ku Ipiru. And this is someday behind one's back. This will be behind you. So you can move forward carrying yourself. And I had to hunt the Q down in my box. Normally I have no problem seeing all the letters whenever I open the box. I can just like, oh, it's right there. But I had to dig and dig and dig for this Q so that way you can see the sense in it and it makes sense. And this is Q for questions. And because it is number 10, ask the questions you need to release so you may close a chapter and enter the next part of your life with ease. Do you remember that time? Do you remember how it made you feel? Those kind of questions, those are the ones that you need to be asking during this moon. And thinking even more about, so that last pile I did, and I didn't think about it till just now. The 5th pile, if you felt called to do it, but you weren't sure if you wanted to go to it, here you have a bolt, and here you have the other earring that goes to that earring in that last pile. And in that last pile, there was a bolt, but you could actually see through it, see what it is that you're trying to create. Whereas here, once you screw it down, you don't see the top of it. You don't see what's coming out of the top. And this is the moon, whereas the other one is the star. And it's about listening to your intuition underneath this moon, because we do have 2. And this moon earring right here is the shadow moon. And there was the shadow doll. And so you're being asked to really look at your intuition. Look at the things that bring you fire or things that make you feel dried out. Because when I placed it over here, I realized I put it over the triangle and it was perfect. And allow yourself to change, to transform under this moon. Just so that way you feel a lot more braver and you feel more courageous. And this giraffe, one of my favorite safari animals when I was growing up was a giraffe, because they had spots all over them. And it made me think of freckles, because I have freckles. And when I was growing up, my older sister used to make fun of me. And so I had this insecurity around my freckles. But the giraffe has a really long neck. And so does this camel. Really long neck. And it's to the benefit of that animal. That's how it has evolved over time. And maybe the things that you have that you feel ashamed for having, or maybe there's this physical attribute that you have that you're ashamed of, and you're being asked to let go of that shame, because the person you love the most that may no longer be here, the person you love the most has that same attribute. So love your qualities, love all parts of your body, and see how these unique qualities you have actually lift you above the rest. Because tall giraffe, tall neck, that means you stand out from the rest. And you're the only one that's going to be able to, if there was an obstacle where and this is what I'm getting, like big fish, small pond. If you are given a challenge, and the challenge is we need someone who can reach the tree and pull an apple tree or an apple out of it, you're like, I know I have the ability to do so, but I just want to stay hidden. I want to be real small. Whereas you are this big camel right here. And your guides are really coming through and letting you know you need to leave the pond. You're a giraffe. You have apples you need to be picking. And this rock is sharpened, and I think we picked it up. I don't remember where we picked it up, but it made me think of somebody that took time to sharpen their senses to, and maybe this is an arrowhead. Maybe that's why it's in my charm basket, but I don't remember. It's got to be. It's just missing some key points. And so it made me think of a direction that you're going, that you are making yourself. You are getting ready to take that step. You're just trying to pick a direction and go with it. And that's why you actually had this compass come out, because it's finding your true north. It's finding the river that flows easier. So we have in this background here, Janus came through the sea. And once he made it to the sea, he embarked on the land. And as he walked through the land, he's just continuously looking from where he came from. But he only wants to walk forward because he realizes that's the only place he can go currently. And he is just continuously making these steps. He is walking forward. And this little dragon, and because this is sparkly dust, this is like a dragon wish. Make a wish under this moon that any obstacle that used to prevent you from moving forward be removed, and that you will be able to someday look back at this day, actually put it behind you. And this gem came out in another reading, and this makes me think of the blue throat chakra. It's finding peace. It's finding tranquility. It's trying to find a place that is calm. And it's unique to itself. And then over here, this is a magic die that rolled out, and it landed on number 5. And this is talking about change and rising through conflicts. It's being able to look at a situation and be able to change it for the better. And this is a heart, and it makes me think of the chakra heart. Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. There were chakra stones in the 5th pile. I didn't even... So, and this is the chakra heart, but this is an eraser. It's going to your base levels first, for one, because that's what you're going to be erasing. Things that didn't make you feel safe. It's erasing things that made you feel like you couldn't do anything, that made you feel as if your heart didn't matter, and made you feel like your voice, it's like at the heart of the sensor, you just want to feel safe to be able to speak your truth, and allowing for forgiveness to come through. Forgive your past. Forgive yourself for not making a move. Forgive. And if you feel like you are too old to start something new, let that be released. You are never too old to start something new. You are never too old to learn an instrument. You are never too old to pick up a brush. And this is saying that you have a loyal companion beside you. Someone who doesn't matter if you are upset, if you get frustrated with yourself, if you've had a really bad day, when you come home, they are so excited to see you, and they have these puppy eyes when they look at you. And maybe this is because I did put this on the inner child. Think of, maybe that's who you were. You were this little pup to this grand dog. And then over here we have this seahorse, and seahorse these are men who have the ability to nurture others, because the seahorse has a reversed role in the world of animals, where he takes on the role. He takes on nurturing and caring for his children, whereas in our species, it's the mother that takes care of them. Maybe you did have that. Instead of having a mother figure in your life, all you had was your father figure that you could look up to. And this is someone who was very loyal, someone who made you feel really loyal to them. And it's just such a great feeling to see this come out. I love it when the seahorse comes out. And it makes me think of a messenger as well, from The Little Mermaid, the messenger that comes to the king. And Maybe that's you're scared of the messenger being shot. The communication skills. Maybe you're worried about communicating something and it not being received, because we have Janice coming, and maybe Janice is worried about telling the news of how this year will look, and he's almost wondering if he's going to be roasted over a Spitfire. And never let a reading determine the reality that you are in, because you should only take what resonates for you and allow it to guide you to make a choice and a decision. And by those choices and decisions, that's when you will really see what will be set in stone for you. And these are 3 rings, 3 promises. And each promise you have made to yourself, you have grown to a point where you're able to actually fit something around you. And it feels good to be able to actually fit something that works for you. And so we have this little pearl, something that you are protecting from things that made you feel irritated. And then by protecting yourself and protecting your boundaries and making those promises that you actually keep to yourself, you're able to actually put more gems and more stones on you that you're able to reveal. And by the end of it, you have this emotional abundance that comes through with these gems just because you did change. You may not be able to see the small things. Oh, that makes me think about the meteor that's coming through. You may not be able to see the impact that you make, but you still are doing something. You are still bursting something in the universe. All right, my dear pile 1, thank you for coming with me on this journey with y'all today. And I'm glad I was able to share a lot of information with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and get the debriefing put together, so that way if someone wasn't sure if this video was for them, they'd be able to kind of see how it unfolded and then be able to make a decision from that, if that makes sense. And don't ever be scared of not being able to speak clearly or be able to speak effectively. You will get your words across the way you need to. It may take some time to build that confidence, but you have a calling that you need to have lit. You need to be a part of this spotlight, because I want to see your art. I want to see what it is that you create. And when you do create it, please share. Share, share, share. I'd love to see it. I'm a mama that likes to hang her kids' artwork up. All right, let me go ahead and get it ready. Pile 1, you're debriefing. The wolf moon is calling you to allow yourself to remember who you are by looking to those who came before you, especially those who created art, music, and literature, and not allow yourself from feeling like an imposter because you want to combine their creations in a unique way with your own personal flair. You are being given energy to balance conflicting feelings, especially around grief and joy, and building stamina back up by giving your body what it's been neglected, like water and food. You are needing to give yourself a destination that calls to you and sticking to it. You should find old photos of yourself to carry into the present, to love and cherish as you would a loved one. Release doubt and fear about what it is you can create with your hands, and trust the process without procrastination. Someday, you will look back at the present moment you are in and thank the divine you started saying yes to yourself and opportunities that beckoned you. Your resilience is built by not delaying any longer. And that is your debriefer, pile 1. But I encourage you to go ahead and watch the rest of the video. And if you enjoyed watching this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And share if you know someone who could benefit from this information that needs to hear this. But I'm going to go ahead and get into the next pile. So if you feel like you are being called to another pile, go ahead and jump on over. Thank you, pile 1. Hello and welcome, pile 2. If you are coming in from another pile, go ahead and sit down and relax. We will see what the wolves are planning for your pile. So let's look at our crystal icebreaker. And we have the Rose Aura Quartz. Heart's desire, love, divine. The energy of love vibrates on a soul level, penetrating the body through its many layers of tissue, all the way down to the cells. Rose Aura Quartz is a crystal of love, with the ability to shift one's sense of self, provide nourishment for your growth, and transform fear and doubts into unconditional love, creating a strong bond to the universe. It creates a synergy between the pineal gland, located in the brain and associated with your third eye, and the heart chakra, infusing your intuition with space to give and receive more love. And I'm glad that y'all chose this one because it is pretty. I do like how the purples and the blues come out with the pink. So the wolves are sharing all they have for your growth this winter. You will not go without at all. They want you to recognize how you do belong with them. And whatever fears or doubts you have about unconditional love, let them be released. You will be taken care of always by these guides. Trust your intuition so you may give and receive more love. And really look at what does your heart desire and how will you put trust in the divine. Sometimes family isn't related by blood. Sometimes it's a close friend or a furry companion that receives our trust. It's the ones that are with us when we are weak and weary. Even when you feel out of place here, you will feel the most accepted. You will gain trust and wise leadership skills from them. They will show you how perception can be shifted. So if you did not feel like you had a pact, or if you did not feel like you had somewhere to belong, just know that you do have somewhere to belong. And you will always have somewhere to belong on Mystic Frequency. Always. You will always be accepted here. And if you didn't have anyone that accepted you, you have one person now that does accept you, and that's me. So wherever you are on your journey and wherever you find this video, I hope at least by the end of this reading, you do see that there are people that want to pull you in and give you whatever nourishment that you need currently. The energy that's coming in after revealing this crystal icebreaker is the deer. And it's an earth sign coming through. And when you do see earth signs, it's about survival and instinct, your fears, habits, the ability to ground yourself, being dependable, being supportive. It's the balance between routine and then or being stuck in your ways and not being able to change. It's the need for movement or exercise when you're frozen in spot. This deer specifically is loving, it's very intuitive, it's graceful, and it is the mother. It's feminine energy available to anyone. It doesn't mean you have to be a woman. It just means that divine feminine energy is available to those to tap into, especially if you are a new parent. Think of the first few days when a Bambi is born. This mother is fully present. She's nurturing, she's calm and very tender. This is an energy that will come into the room when you feel the most chaos and you start to feel this calm present, or calm presence, but it is a present to you. This is the birth of a celebration of new life, or the birth of just something that is new that draws near. These are situations that call for absolute gentleness and compassion. So, whatever situation you may be going through, when this reading comes through, this is your guide coming through and wanting you to just be very gentle with yourself. Be very gentle, be very nurturing, as if you do have a newborn. You are the newborn. And they want you to feel that compassion that they feel for you. When this is in balance, you are receptive, you're compassionate and nurturing. But when this is out of balance, you become very concerned and protective with everything around you. And a way to bring this into balance is either by being in nature or being around children or being around things that you have to take care of. So maybe if you don't know if you are parent material or if you are a person that is able to take care of little ones effectively, maybe you're an aunt or an uncle, but if you allow yourself to spend time with your nieces and nephews, or if you just find yourself around children you just happen to be around children, maybe your friends have children and something deep within you comes out that you never thought that you even had. But this makes me think that this is somebody that has gone through something that was a major transformation. And because this was a major transformation, now you need to comfort yourself, because you can't do a whole bunch of change and expect your nervous system to be okay with it. So, and I'm okay with sharing this. So with my son, Iceland, when he was born, I had baby blues. And so your body spends 9 months building something, and then the hormones go all over the place. When I came home with Iceland, I was very teary. I was very weepy. I just couldn't handle my emotions. I did not want my husband to go to work. I wanted him to stay home with me and help me with Iceland. Fast forward to when I had my daughter. That one was completely different. I actually had what is called postpartum depression with my daughter that lasted almost a year and a half later. And I beat myself up for not being able to feel vulnerable. I beat myself up for not being able to ask for help and actually lean on those that were wanting to come in and assist. I felt like I needed to do all the work, that because I'm a mom and that was the role I had, that I had to do it alone. And so like I have this mama fire lion energy, but what I really needed was to admit that I did need some help. I needed something to help me. And tarot did help me during those dark times when I couldn't process myself. Now, postpartum depression compared to baby blues, it's irrational. It is irrational thinking at its best, and taking your emotions to the extremes and affecting the things around you. It's feeling like you don't belong any longer in this life, like you don't have a purpose. And that may not be the same for everyone. Everyone will have different types that are coming through. But for me in my postpartum depression, I really felt like I didn't deserve to be here. And that my children would be better off without me. And I know I'm saying that, and then that's not to make humor on it, but that's just, if you are a parent and you are struggling with something you did not anticipate was going to happen, then I am a supportive door for you. So if you need someone to talk to about these kinds of things that are hard to talk with people, because men, unless they know someone that goes through it, they won't understand what it is. They don't understand why you are being the way you are. My husband had no idea why I was acting the way I was. And at the time that I had postpartum depression, I lost my grandma. So I had so much deep-seated feelings that were going on. And this moon is to help you release what you should not be carrying so you can nurture yourself and heal and allow people to come in and pick up the things that you should not be picking up. And it doesn't matter if you are a new mom. If you are a parent of any kind, you need to be able to take care of your needs. Even though my son and daughter are 8 and, oh my goodness, I feel bad, 9 and 12, because they just turned birthdays. They, at the end of the day, I still need comfort every now and then. Sometimes my sister will come in and she'll be like, "Can I have the kids for the weekend?" And I thank the God that they go to her on the weekend sometimes. So it's finding those that will support you, because my sister, that's their second mama. 100%. That's their second mama. And their other aunties and their grandma and grandmas and just the other family that is around us. Those are other ways that they can turn to a nurturing figure, so the main nurturing figure can relax and reset. But if you are not a parent, this is just saying that you need to be more gentle with yourself. You need to be more loving in the situation. And just be able to just be more present and grounded. The self-care affirmation that you will need for this is smile. Your beauty radiates that way. Smile. You will be taking care of yourself. And by allowing yourself to be able to smile about the things that you need to smile about. But before we get any further with this, because I do want to talk about this, but I almost forgot to talk about this. So gratitude brings abundance. The act of gratefulness is a door that leads into abundance of spirit and heart, allowing us to more deeply enjoy this life that we live. Set aside time today to remember all that you have to be thankful for, inviting your feelings of gratitude to overflow every part of your being with their dazzling warmth and light. Be thankful for the people that you do have in your life. And if you don't have very many, I will support you with my words of wisdom and my love that I'm sending your way to you. And like I said, you will be taking care of yourself by allowing yourself to be vulnerable and let a pack pick up what you shouldn't be picking up. Each task they complete, thank them and explain why the action matters most to you when they help you. It's the situation, the behavior, and the impact that they make. With the divine dear mother coming in, you have been giving so much love and care to others that she sensed how you needed a chance to breathe too. A wolf's love and protective nature is coming in from the outside. There are people around you who will provide this, especially if you just gave birth and now have a new life you are responsible for. Your instincts may be overpowering your ability to think clearly as you aren't truly safe. As if you aren't truly safe. You don't feel safe. You may be learning how to be more tender and gentle with your healing and not forcing yourself past 3 days. So back to the 3 days. The more appreciative you are and looking at the ways others show authentic, unconditional love readily will bring more ways to smile. So celebrate this new beginning, whatever it is, whatever this transformation is that you have done, celebrate it, but let your body heal. Let your body do the healing and recovery. And then once it's healed, then you can be more present. The thing that you will need to release will be given by the Page of Swords. And this is upright, but this makes me think of somebody that may have mom fog. If you find yourself, like when you're really tired, you're just really talkative all of a sudden you have these bursts of energy that come out of nowhere, and you just find yourself driven to take care and just keep taking care of others because you're a very thoughtful person. Allow these really, like I said, transformation that brings about these really weird mood swings, these mood changes. Those will be key signs that something is off and something is working underneath it. Whenever I'm nervous, I talk a lot. And when you start to feel really nervous or unsure or unsafe about a situation, let that be your guide. Be curious about it and see the truth that is being unveiled to you. What is your mind telling you in this moment about the situation? You don't need to pick up what others can't handle themselves when you aren't able to handle what may be going on with you currently, or what you aren't able to communicate clearly. What isn't true to your nature or takes too much energy, even though you may feel like you have the energy to do it. Like, I thought when I got home that I could just do the laundry and clean the house, and there's this common saying to sleep when the baby's sleeping. I did the opposite and I regretted it. Absolutely regretted it. I should have been sleeping when the baby was sleeping and tuning my schedule so that way the baby could tune to the schedule I had. People who don't let you talk or chirp, those people you need to release, because I do see this little bird here. And you see how she's holding it in her hand, but she's not really looking at it. Maybe you're trying to talk to people, or you just feel like this little tiny insignificant thing, and they're not looking at you. And that makes you feel really small. How can you release that feeling, especially when your mind isn't in a clear state? It's not that they're not paying attention to you, because look, she does have a gold earring, so what you say is being received. It's just they're looking for a way to go ahead and assist this, but it feels like they're not actually listening to you. And whatever doesn't let you move freely or stand tall. So maybe you're wanting to wear your old clothes again, and you thought that by transforming you'll be able to fit them again, but they're not. They're still tight. And so everything you wear looks really big and baggy around you. But I love the confidence that this character has wearing baggy clothes. It makes them look like a pirate that has this ability to sail and go anywhere they want to, go on any journey, and go to any island. How can you treat that the clothes that you currently have will give you the energy to keep going forward and keep transforming? But I love the loose clothes. I love wearing loose, comfortable, fitted clothes that aren't restrictive. The only time I will wear anything that is not like that is whenever I'm doing my yoga. And so I'm wearing my yoga pants and I'm just moving with my body because I want to be able to see my body move. And maybe you feel like the body image that you have, you're hiding it, and you're needing to release that bad image you have of yourself through this moon. Quit trying to hide your body is what I'm hearing. Find ways that you can express your body and feel good about it. And maybe you should let your hair do what it wants. Stop worrying about how your hair looks. Stop worrying about whether you should straighten it, whether you should, because this woman has very curly hair. It looks like very dark, very lush curly hair. Just let it do what it wants. And it's almost like this bird was very attracted by this woman's hair, and it was like, "Hey, I see you let your hair down. It looks like a nest. Would you mind if I were to?" And she's like, "Please go the other way." She's like, "Go the other way. Take your energy elsewhere." It's like you're getting these compliments that are coming in, and it's almost like you're being bashful about it. And she is smiling, so smile, your beauty radiates this way. And someone is trying to give you a compliment, and you turn away from it. And you're like, "Stop, go that way." And maybe your partner is coming in here like this, and they're saying, "You look really beautiful today." And all you're doing is wearing your clothes. All you're doing is wearing your hat. Maybe you're cleaning your house and you found something in your house and you put it on your head, and now you're walking with a feather hat, and he comes in and he's like, "You look really beautiful." And it makes you feel a certain way, but you aren't raising the sword to them. You're just telling them, "Go away, stop it." But it makes you smile. You are also looking at others who are behind, but holding your sword to keep them from coming close if they disagree with where your curiosity takes you. You're doing right by you. This is what you're going to be able to release, so you can do this. And this is asking you, whatever words that have been holding you back, allow them to release. And whatever may be dulling your mind and senses, find ways to release that too, so that way you can bring in clarity. And for your pile, these are the challenges that are going to help you bring resilience. And let me go ahead and kind of like move this over here. So the Hierophant talks about these boundaries, these structures and processes that are around us. It's these roles that we are expected to have or test. It's what you serve. It's what you believe in. It's the traditions that you uphold, especially areas and focus around your family, the community you're in, your religion, the ideology, the identity, the political beliefs. When things change and our way of living changes with it, how do we stand? Because this really, maybe there was just an addition of some kind in your world. Something has changed. Something drastically has changed, and your routine is now completely different. Whatever that change may be, it's going to show up under this moon that you need to really look at where you stand currently. What do you do when you are questioned over and over and over again about the things that you do? Or how are you able to express questions about the things that you believe in? Allow yourself to challenge what you think. The pressures we feel reconfirms our commitments to the things we believe in. Sometimes we learn something new and have to rebel or change. Who can you join to help support your beliefs? And what matters most will challenge your commitment. Finding a mentor or someone that can come into this situation will benefit you greatly. And because we did have the Knight of Coins, and because I do see this woman here, and I do see this new transformation, maybe you need to go to whoever is your spiritual mentor, or I'm hearing a mediator of some sorts needs to come through here and help guide both of y'all, because this Knight of Coins is someone in your life that is probably making you feel very challenged right now. And it's like he's working on this, and oh my goodness. Okay, now that I'm picking up, you have an idea of how you want to go about this new change in your life. And this person has a different opinion on how they want to go and change things in their life. And if this is a parent, it's like you have two different parenting methods. One is more nurturing, while one is allowing them to test the world for themselves and experience it. And over here, it's like, no, we need to shelter them from the world. The world is a horrible place. And they've got their clippers and they're ready to snip anybody that comes in. And because we have these stars here, this is what they're shielding themselves from, is this belief that makes this flower form itself and not create its own beliefs. And this over here is asking, how can you be prudent, cautious, and protect yourself, or protect the things that you care about? And do the right thing for yourself. Invest in yourself. Get ahead in the things that matter to you, whether it be getting ahead in your home. Well, okay, back to this. I will say this. This individual needs to help you get ahead of your home, work, your financial situation, anything that will benefit your health. This person will help you do that. That way you can heal and then have the energy to tackle the world. I almost said that wrong, where I was like, and then you need to be doing the work. No, let this person come in and do the detail work and assist you. That way you can be more free. You have more free time, is what I'm hearing. And if what you used to know created a weak you are challenging old beliefs you knew about yourself and working hard to change them, especially when it cuts your ability to see your beauty and the ability to nurture others. You're standing in how you believe, and it is best to take care of yourself and challenging everything, testing everything, but being careful while you do so, where you do it in a beautiful way that doesn't hurt others or cut them off in a way. And having this conversation, I really feel, because the page is very childlike and it's being the messenger, it's being able to bring the message to them. Right now they're looking down, and maybe especially with children, and this is something I picked up in orientation to teaching in early childhood development. When you are with a child and you want to work with something with them, if you get down on your knees and you see them at their eye level, it helps develop that trust and build it. And maybe this is what you're trying to do, is you're trying to help develop trust in yourself and in others. And these are the challenges you're going to be encouraged to do. Maybe you want to be this tall person on a mountain, but right now you need to change the way you're doing things and actually see people on an eye level. And because this is green here and this is green here, this person who has a masculine role has very feminine qualities about them that makes them able to nurture themselves. And in pile 1, we did have the seahorse as a charm, and the seahorse has a reversed role. And it is gold, now that I think about it. It was a gold seahorse. So reverse the role. Maybe this is a working mom and this is a stay-at-home dad. Whatever the case may be, the roles are reversed, and it's changing the way society views what they think a role should be. And you were finding ways to challenge them, to build resilience, and to be able to be nurturing at the same time. You can have divine masculine properties and divine feminine properties at the same time. You don't have to be just one thing. You can be multiple things. And for your Scrabble, it was a little difficult for me to look at your words and figure out what Spirit was saying. So I'm hoping that by the time we get through this, you will have an idea. Go ahead and turn it over. I figured for the rest of the piles, I just go ahead and have everything laid out in front of me. So that way you can kind of see the transition. All right. So there's a rift, and that's what I'm getting. That really came out. I also, whenever I was looking at the words, I heard ROTC. So maybe you come from a military background, and that's another reason why I was thinking of the Hierophant. This is someone that is very stuck in their ways, that has these ideologies of how someone should execute their world and how they challenge the world. And so you may have had this father figure or this paternal figure or whoever this strong-headed person is that has taught you to lead into the world that you want, to go after the things that you want, and to not let someone provide it for you. And this person is very nurturing and very different from what it is that your parent has shown you. And they are teaching you that you can take a step back and you can look at the details around you and let others come in and build a world with you, that you don't have to always be the one building the world, that this person can do that for you. And so a rift is a crack. It's a split. It's a break in something. Maybe it's a break in clarity. It's a break in the roles that you are doing currently and letting someone else pick them up for you. And this is a blank tile. It's just a blank space. And it is breaking or giving space from habits or people that don't care for us. It's these cycles that we find ourselves in. And then up over here, we have our charms. And these charms right here are tables. It's who do we allow to sit and eat the table with us? And I love that this tends to always come out when the Hierophant comes out. Anytime I have a reading, it's like this one wants to come out with it. And it's bringing religions together. It's bringing two different types of belief systems that may be very different worlds, but we're blending them together to be one unit. And this makes me think we have divine feminine energy, we have divine masculine energy that has opposite energies that are working together. And if you were uncertain about this relationship or stepping into a relationship, this moon is bringing light to this situation. That is the divine coming in personally to let you know that you balance each other out. And it is going to heal the rift. It's going to, whatever was cracking will be filled in with this. And this, you can either take this as a claw or something that has a hold on you, or you can see this as like the bull, because it makes me think of the horns or the nose earring that sometimes you see the bull have. And back to the bullheadedness, being stuck in a certain way, being stuck in your beliefs. And how can you take this claw and remove it from what makes you feel stuck? And this is relationships. These are the people that you can actually look at and have a conversation with. These are the people that make you feel loved, that make you feel very beautiful, and that make you want to radiate. And I just had so many different types of confirmation about a baby of some kind. And maybe because this baby is very big, and it's almost like you're needing some outside help to come through. because you thought you had a handle on it, that you could do this on your own, but now you're needing some guidance to come in. Maybe you weren't listening to what other people had to say about their experiences, and now you're starting to see, maybe I should open up about this and let someone kind of, because if you were to put this in her hands, it would be way too big for her. But if you put it over here, it's perfect for his arms. And maybe you just needed some clarification about whether someone would be a good candidate to be a father, or a good candidate to be a mother, whatever the case may be, or just be a good partner that you would like to say your IDs to in front of your minister or whoever you get married in front of. And this is that clarification you needed, that they're going to be able to pick up what you can't pick up. And you're going to be able to pick up the things that they can't. Maybe this person is a very shy person, and you have no problem talking to anybody, but this person has the ability to nurture things. And that's what makes y'all a beautiful couple. But if you're not in a relationship, then this is just meaning you are about to welcome in something that is really beautiful. And I love that for you. But I'm going to go ahead and get the debriefing ready. So if someone was uncertain or had any doubts about if this pile was meant for them, then they would have the information for them. You're more than welcome to stay for it, but do not feel the pressure. All right, pile 2, your debriefing. You are taking care to take care of yourself. This wolf moon is showing you how to be tender and more gentle with yourself, especially after entering something new in your life that changes routines and schedules around. You are leaning more on those that aren't necessarily blood related for support and unconditional love. And if you do have those that are close to you, you are being encouraged to let them help you. You are being cautious with your time and energy while protecting what matters most to you. You are releasing old beliefs that challenged your worth and ability to be nurturing and firm with your boundaries. You are finding ways to release tight grips on expectations and perceptions and being more loose and carefree during this time. And you are seeing that those that are different from what you grew up and what you were surrounded with are going to help make you strong. They help you balance out. Whereas over here, you are strong and very in control and have this divine masculine energy coming through. And there is someone around you that has these strong divine feminine qualities that can help you during this time. And you're going to find ways to be more thankful and bring gratitude to those that can allow you to nurture and just be more compassionate with yourself, so that way you can smile. That is your debriefing, pile 2. I encourage you to watch the rest of the video because there was a lot of good information that was being revealed. And if you feel called to go to another pile, you are more than welcome to. But pile 2, thank you so much for watching and listening. And if you enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know how you are doing along your journey. And if you know someone that is going through something like this that needs to hear it, go ahead and share. Sharing is caring. But I'm going to go ahead and head on over to the next pile. Thank you, pile 2. Hi, pile 3. And if you are coming from another pile, welcome again. Let's see what your crystal ice is breaking open and what the moon is lighting up for you. And ultimately, how it's going to lift your awareness field. So we have lapidolite, transition, release, change. Change is coming, and lepidolite is the perfect crystal to help you with those transitions. By becoming aware of bad habits and patterns, we can release them to make room for new ones that sustain a healthy lifestyle. Lepidolite helps us let go of attachments to old behaviors and addictions, clearing away emotional ties to the stories we tell ourselves. Lepidolite encourages self-love on all levels, even if we need to step away from our current way of doing things to establish that trust. Write the story you want to live. And I love that this one has been coming out recently in some of my other videos. And it makes me really hear how the collective is going through a lot of changes, and that the collective is really wanting to break cycles, things that are bad for them. And the more I see this, the more hope I have that you are able to do so. So I feel attachments are being magnified that need to be loosened so it can lift your vibrational field. Areas that guide you to healthy choices will make you emotionally stable. So these are new environments, these are new people, new situations, and all of these are helping you to find a resolution when it comes to change, because Cancer underneath this supermoon is going to help you find a resolution. You are utilizing your emotions to make stronger attachments to habits you want to express without effort. The easier it is to do something, the more inclined you are to do it. The wolves are making you howl for change so you can return to society after a transformation built on patterns. And so you may feel called to leave and do what it is that you need to do. And once you are in a stronger state of mind, it's almost like this reunion you're coming back to, but you're coming back as a stronger version of you. And you're not allowing people that you were around to even be near your field. They want you to take aggression and pent up resentment you may have for yourself and others and release it in a positive way, where it doesn't rip you to shreds, where it doesn't make you feel like you have to always be ugly when you're trying to get your point across. And they want you to find comfort to wind down, finding things that help you wind down faster without being a chain or negative addiction. So it's like when you're replacing a habit, don't replace it with something that isn't for your beneficial. So this is an example. If you want to quit smoking cigarettes, a vape is not going to, yes, it may help you cut back, but you are still intaking the nicotine and you're creating a different type of problem. Don't create a habit that creates a different type of problem for you. I've watched my husband, he's done from smoking cigarettes. He tried the vape and then had a lot of problems with it. And then he would go back to smoking cigarettes and then he would go back, and he just bounced back and forth between it. And some people are able to cut it cold turkey sometimes, and that may be why you need to leave the people you are around, because they have this bad habit and it just makes it easier for you to pick up something when you see other people constantly doing it. But just allow yourself to be really strong and allow yourself, whatever change you are doing, you're doing it in a soft, subtle, and just firm way, where like, and I give this in my last video, where when you go through a major change, it needs to be subtle and it needs to come from the inside, because if you try to do major change, you fall through back to the ground where you started and you have to do it all over again. But if you start with the reasons why you need to do this change, and you remind yourself why it's so important, and you give yourself celebrations when you reach milestones, you are able to kind of like open yourself up and have a wall in front of you where that bad habit is. And And now you have something to stand on that you won't fall through. And I love giving that analogy to people, but you're changing something. You're transforming something. By the time this reading comes to you, if you do pick this pile, it is because something is changing within you. Something is calling. There's a habit. There's something going on within your world that you're wanting to release. And you're wanting to pick up something better for yourself. So the energy that's coming in, once you recognize what was shaken up, what was broken, we have the dolphin, and I love that you got the dolphin. Love dolphins. So this is water energy, and water energy, it's the emotional world in which we can express in. It's our relationships, it's the love, it's the boundaries and the creativity. It's how we allow ourselves to flow in life. And water energy is drawn to arts, beauty, and depth. It's very romantic and joyful. And this is going to allow yourself, what do you do when water spills and makes a mess? Because this is a supermoon that is coming out, so you're going to feel your emotions a lot more heightened. And it's going to make you focus on how you deal with disappointment and how you let your tears come through. And essentially, it's healthy. It's a healthy stream of communication that flows not too much, not too little. And this dolphin, it's innately intelligent. It's a healer. It's light, and it brings blessings. And it's letting you know about these gifts that go beyond your mind's grasp. It's coming in, and here's the gift over here, and it's letting you know you have this gift. And it's giving you the opportunity to swim towards it. It's very sensitive and very subtle. And it needs you to be in this state where you are allowing your emotions to come through under this moon. And see how the energy is kind of echoing around it. It's wanting you to pick up on that. It's wanting you to pick up on these nudges, these taps, these bops that the dolphin is doing. And it's going to work on your current spirit level. It will not come to you when you aren't ready. It comes to you when you are at a level ready in the moment right now. And it helps you not to underestimate the impact you make in the world. And it plays a role in the wheel of karma. And it changes the entire course of your day by being in the presence of this dolphin. And it's not just your day it changes, it actually changes your life. So these are people that are around you. This is the energy where people come in and they just make your world a better place to be. And that's how you are with others too. This is energy you already have. This is that gift you already have, where by you just existing, you just make the world a better place. And this is saying there's a blessing on the way. And when this is in balance, this is the active healer. And it has strong spiritual practices. This is somebody that knows when they need to release something, so they may be able to receive what it is that they need to receive. And when it's out of balance, it's when you start to underestimate your power, underestimate what it is that you're capable of. And the only way you can bring this back into balance is when you surround yourself with people that think just like you. So back to that transition, that when you want to develop a good habit, allow yourself to find people who are also doing the good habit, who have done it for such a time that you find it easier to maintain that habit. And by you coming into their life, they are able to, you're changing them too. And you are making them aware of the gifts that they have as well. And I kind of want to talk about this story that my oceanography teacher talked about when I was in high school. And I think I talked about this in the fifth pile. So if you felt called to the fifth pile, this would be really good for you. It'll be kind of like leaning into that, because I'm glad that I was able to channel something for everyone in that last pile. And so Mr. Brooker talked about this opportunity to go and swim with dolphins. And he's an advocator of the ocean world. He loves ocean. He loves animals. He loves aquatic animals. And he heard a rumor that it didn't matter what state of mind you were in or what emotion you had. If you were to jump in a tank with dolphins and you were swimming with them, your whole emotion changes and you become very lifted and positive, and you find yourself smiling like the dolphins. So with him being a teacher and wanting to test this and use the science background that he had, he decided, okay, I'm going to come into this and I'm just going to feel a certain way. I'm going to feel a certain way, and I'm not going to allow my emotions to be overtaken. Because he was a very serious teacher. Let me tell you that. He is such a serious teacher. But he loved his students. So when he was talking about this story, he said that, so he went into this tank and the instructor in the tank said that if you want to swim with the dolphins, the best thing you can do is by swimming by yourself first, and then they will decide whether or not they want to swim with you. And now they were with other people within this tank. It wasn't just Mr. Bricker by himself. But Mr. Bricker was already focused on his goal. He was like, I am not going to let the dolphins get to me. And so he has his goggles on, and these goggles that he had on, like, he couldn't see what was around him. He could only see what is in front of him. And he was just swimming. He was just going. And he was just, at that point, he was just doing a workout in this pool that was doing circles. And he didn't know where anybody was with him because he left the group and was just doing his own thing. He was ahead of the group. And he just happened to turn his head, and every dolphin that was around them was following him. They were letting him lead the pack. And he was their dolphin leader in that moment. And just something about swimming the dolphins changed him completely. And he started to play and have fun with these dolphins and was swimming. And then by the end of it, he got out of it, forgot that he had this goal of coming into that tank with just one emotion. And he left with something different. He changed something by being with these dolphins. And that's what you need to understand about yourself is you may have these blinders on and you cannot see the impact you are making on those around you. But if you were to allow yourself to shift your perspective and see what is around you, you would see there are people who are following you because they see that you have the ability to be just as playful as they are. And you are changing and they want to change with you. And you are like this leader in that movement. I have a lot of love for Mr. Bricker. A lot of love. So allow yourself, find the people who are the dolphins who make you change the way you feel about something completely, who make you feel like a better person just by being around your energetic field. They just make you feel good. Your self-affirmation or your self-care affirmation under this moon is embrace your feminine energy. And in pile 2, there was a a card where it made me think that there was someone who was operating with divine masculine energy, and they kind of cut themselves off to their divine feminine energies, but they had someone around them that had the exact opposite, and they kind of balanced each other out. So embrace your feminine energy. And when I talk about feminine energy, it's what allows you to nurture and to play, to flow, and just be. It's your intuition where you allow for deep listening. So think of this water, deep listening. You're listening for what is being echoed around you. It's creativity, it's being receptive, and it's emotional expression. Your inner child that's coming through is I am. So it's almost like even more affirmations for you to tell yourself. I am safe. I am supported. I am worthy. I am unique. I am honest. I am true. I am abundant. I am present. I am strong. I am open. I am wise. I am cared for. I am good. I am accepted. I belong. Now is the time to practice affirmations. Know that you are, and speak the words that you need to hear over yourself now. And this is what the dolphin is saying. And I'm so glad that Mr. Brooker's story came through today, because it's almost like that's what the dolphins were telling him, that he's safe, that he's supported, that he is worthy to be with them, and that he is unique. And they felt how honest and true he was in that moment, and they wanted to make him feel abundant with them swimming with him. So allow this to come through with your inner child, so that way you can balance any kind of feminine energy that may be blocked. Even if you are male, allow yourself to be able to flow rather than control the situation, because he tried to control the situation and ended up becoming very blessed with a different type of energy. So what release do you need to focus on? We have strength, and it was reversed, so it's making me feel like there's this feeling of being weak, where you doubt yourself and your capabilities. And maybe there were situations that were abused or where you were feeling neglected. And strength is telling you, you don't have to always physically be strong to handle a situation, especially if it's an unknown situation. You don't have to control everything in order to feel control. Your strength from raw, authentic expression needs to be acknowledged. What you took or used to make you invincible, whatever this imaginary habit that you had, this habit that you need to change that made you feel as if you were invincible, was making you fight unreal threats that weren't even there. Where are you struggling most, and what are you finding, or what is a need to do, or what do you feel like you need to do a death barrel roll? So this is even more confirmation, because in pile 5, the energy they had was a crocodile. And here we are wrestling a crocodile. Where are you struggling most and are finding it's necessary for you to deal with it? What parts of you feel fake? Release one foot to the ground and keep one foot on the issue. And quiet your mind to be assertive with what will work best for the situation. Because look at this. She could have either done a death barrel roll on this creature, but that's not the case. If you look closely at this, you'll see that she's giving it chin scratches, and you see that she's giving it belly scratches, and he's tapping his foot like he's enjoying this. And at first, when you first look at this card, you think, oh my gosh, she is fighting a crocodile, lion, hippo thing. But she's actually showing it so much love and compassion in this picture. And it gives it new depth and meaning. Rub the areas that you are trying to release. Rub the areas that you want to feel good about. And allow yourself to have belly and chin scratches to calm the gator down, to calm it. And whenever I was talking about what parts of you are fake, when you are transforming something, this is what I was talking about, that transformation where you try to do too much and it falls through. When you try to transform and then you try to transform and then try to transform, you are just not recognizable. And it almost makes me think that this is, she tried to transform herself, but this is what she was. This is who she is. And it's almost like she's trying to tell herself, stop trying to change so much about yourself. Love yourself for who you are. Allow yourself to be authentic. And these mushrooms right down here, these are these cycles, this life and death, decay, being able to rebirth yourself. And also know what it is that you need to be taking. What medicine is working for you? What medicine is not working for you? What are you feeding yourself that is not working for you? And it could be she's seen, this is making me think of a mom or a fur mom who's seen their loved one pick up something that they're not supposed to do, and now she is trying to pry open their mouth to get it out. Much love to parents. And my cat, I swear to the divine, I don't know what's wrong with our cat Loki. He eats plastic. He eats anything he can put in his mouth that he shouldn't be eating. And I relate to this picture because he would eat a tack if he could. My sister has a cat that's like that too. She can't have any kind of tack just rolling around on the ground because he'll eat the tack if he wanted to. And maybe that's what, now that I'm thinking about, what situation are you trying to attack and eat for yourself that you shouldn't be? And I bet if you were to allow yourself to tell yourself this right here, you would be this beautiful woman right here who is strong and confident, who changes those around. It's like you're coming in and changing everybody's bad habits by being yourself, by being free. The challenges that are going to help you build resilience for this moon that is coming through is the Eight of Swords. So what is our mind projecting? What are the mental illusions that are being placed around us? What do we find that we dislike? What are our external fears, the things that are making these imaginary swords from making us be able to move, or our circles we place ourselves in? This card is about game changers. It's about what we don't like externally and how it is felt internally. So maybe there's something about you don't like, but it's creating this prison around you. You're this intuitive crow, and you're placing these things that you don't like about yourself, and it's making you wonder, what is wrong with me? And it's, look at the eye on this crow. It's like, are you serious? You don't like that you are intuitive? You don't like having mental clarity? You don't like being yourself? And And which makes me think of Edgar, I can't even say his name, Edgar Allan Poe, where he's like, nevermore. Nevermore. And it's avoiding what lies within. What do you not like about yourself? That's what keeps coming through. What do you not like about yourself? And see how it causes imbalances that make it hard to communicate or take responsibility. It's a pressure test. This is a pressure test. When you feel like you're backed into a corner, this is a test for you. This is a test. And this is the energy giving you that test. It's testing your ideas. It's testing the faults in your plans. And it's testing the risks that are being avoided or making them actually sound not so bad. It's like in normal Rider-Waite tarot, you see a woman that has her eyes blindfolded, but this crow has its eyes open really wide. So you are aware of the habit. And that's what's making this transition even easier. It's because you're not blindfolding yourself to it any longer. You're not going to let it hold you back any longer. And because you're a crow and not a lady trapped and binded, you can fly out of this situation. And this is asking you to kick things around in order to see what holds or what breaks. I don't know why I was going to put that there. Oh my goodness. But I love that this crow comes through. Ever since I started bringing this pile out, I almost feel like my little fake crow has been the happiest person. Oh, there we go. Maybe that's what it was. That's why I wanted to put it there. And y'all are probably like, she talks to inanimate things. But like, you have this ability. Maybe you don't talk to anything real around you, and you're being encouraged to allow that infectious energy to come out so you can embrace your feminine energy. And maybe you only do that with the animals around you, but someone would really like to see this. This is a perfect. I love seeing cat memes. But let's go ahead and look into your Scrabble and Charms and see what we have to unveil. All right, here's your Scrabble and your charms that are displayed on the board. So I love that this came out how it did. Fate unifies everyone, including you. Even if you don't feel like you are a part of something, you are. And it was fate to unify you to where you are currently and to unify you with those that are around you. And fate will unify what you see in yourself and those around you so you won't separate to appease false images that weren't meant to be held or controlled. You will see where you fit in the scheme of things and the impact you make with everyone that you do bring together. And this golf ball over here, I know it says a number 2 on here, but it looked like a 7 to me. And it's a call away. Number 7 is about reflecting on past moves made that either you took longer to sink a hole or what you did that made it easier. And it's how did patience and lining up your form help you guide your strike? Oh my goodness, if a gator ate your chance to reach a goal, how do you approach the situation? When I made pile 5, I made the gator reference in this video. And when I got to pile 5, that's when the crocodile came out. Oh my goodness, I love how synchronicities show up in the past and in the present. I love that. So if a gator ate your chance to reach a goal, so like if you're doing putt-putt, how do you approach the situation? How do you take the golf ball out of his mouth? And this is a backbone promise. What promises strengthen you and give you resilience? And how can you develop a backbone for the situation? And it almost seems like there's 3 things that you need to do in order to do that. And this over here makes me think of a snake skin or just some kind of skin. What skin makes you feel magnetic and comfortable to express truth, since it's blue? And be the hoop that you are willing to jump through, because we have this dolphin. We have this hoop in this blue background. When you need to grow, how do you release the chains? So when you finally make it through this hoop and get stuck, what can you do to release that chain? And when I put it over here, and if you have heard things about crows and how they like shiny things, it's like, oh, I really want to break that. I want to get that so bad for myself. But you have to be willing to set your intention on it. You have to have clear focus in order to do that. So you may be able to exit this ring that you are in and enter a new ring, a new impression, because we have these dimples. And over here we have, this makes me think of a goddess, so that divine feminine energy that's coming through that has these gems all around them, that makes it magnetic, makes it beautiful, makes it stand out from the rest. And it's authentic expression that is expressed outwardly. It's like goddess energy. It's looking at what she is doing that she can actually control, because even though when you're looking at it, so whenever I'm looking at this, she's looking at her right hand or whatever is within her control. What can she control? She can control the energy that she is in. That's what she can control. She can control her emotions and her actions from there. And then we have this little owl. It's little wisdom. It's that little nudge that I'm getting through. It's this divine gift that you have that is nudging you, but it's like this little nudge that you have is causing a wave to form around you. And it's asking you to trust your intuition in on this, that you are strong and that you are able to break any habit or any cycle that you want to break. But pile 3, that is your reading. You're more than welcome to stay for the debriefing, but I'm going to go ahead and get the debriefing together and then go into the next pile. All right, pile 3. You are creating change with this moon to help you cycle through transitions and lose control without fear. You need to release emotions that make you feel aggressive, angry when things don't go according to plan, and unauthentic when you change too many times and your energy becomes unstable. Dolphin energy is coming in through the moonlight to help you feel more playful and not so tempered, and to show you how to heal parts with a new intellectual training plan by putting the hoop you want to wear in front of you. You may feel imprisoned by what you may blindfold yourself to, or don't blind yourself, or what you don't blind yourself to in this. But you have the ability to talk your way out of this with positive affirmations. Visualize what you should work on and what habits you have that communicate fear, that communicate that you shouldn't try something different. But that is your debriefing, pile 3. I encourage you to watch the rest of the video from beginning to end. And if you are ready to head on to another pile, you are more than welcome to do so. But other than that, thank you, pile 3. If you enjoyed this content, please like, comment, and subscribe. And share if you know anybody that could benefit from this information coming through, that even if this didn't resonate for you, but you followed it all the way through because you felt called to. Sharing is caring, and it helps bring people together. It helps unify them. But that is your reading, pile 3. Thank you. Hi, pile 4, and others coming from another wolf moon to be revealed. Let's see what Crystal Icebreaker is going to illuminate and allow energy and challenges to come through. And I'm looking at my writing and I scribbled out a whole bunch. So maybe you're scribbling out something. And when I was reading, I was like, what was I trying to say? Maybe you're not sure what you're trying to say under this moon. Maybe you had intentions already planned out, and now you've got the eraser ready in your hand and you're like, okay, I'm getting ready to write something. But that's what I'm kind of picking up. So let's look at the Crystal Icebreaker. So this is the Tiger Eye. So the Tiger's Eye is courage, optimism, and power. I almost heard Optimus Prime. You're in your prime. A courageous and brave stone, Tiger's Eye motivates you to show up as your best self, dispelling any fear and doubt in your path. Known as the shapeshifter, Tiger's Eye embodies healing energies from both the earth and the sun, drawing optimism toward you while also grounding you in reality. Call on the warrior inside of you and pursue your ambitions with laser focus, with confidence, strength, and power. Tiger's Eye helps break through any blockages that stand in your way. Activate the warrior inside of you. Oh. You are seeing a power that you've been holding back and building your courage so it couldn't be taken. This stone's picture makes me think of layers that you've had to develop to protect the golden aspects your soul carries. And these darker portions that you are seeing make me think that there was a rough period, but each setback or block you were able to overcome by looking up and staying positive. Tigers are very solo animals, especially in the cat kingdom, compared to lions who live in a pride. So it's no wonder that a lone wolf cry would even entice you. When you need clarity, you gain the resilience to keep moving in the night with confidence. And it really allows you to release what doesn't ground you or help you shift. And that's what you are learning, is you are learning ways to shift and make things easier for you. And I feel like by you shifting and slowly turning and moving forward, by the time you're moving forward, you're able to stay this positive, glowing, golden person that can just keep moving forward. And I really do see, like, there was a really dark time in your life where it was really hard to hold on to the hope that was around you. But you kept pushing, you kept going forward and doing. The energy that is coming through after revealing this is the nightingale. And I will say, if you felt called to pile 1, I do encourage you heading over to the pile 1, because if you felt like your voice was restricted at all, there is some helpful information in that pile that may benefit you, since you did get the nightingale. So this is an air sign too. This is an air card. And air animals have the ability to move quickly and decisively, and they can see more than others. And this can lead to powerful and discerning qualities that they're able to see in people. They love movement and mobility. And because it's very fast movement, speed can leave them ungrounded. They tend to live more in their head rather than their body. And in order for these people to kind of really ground themselves, they have to go on very slow walks where they let their feet guide them rather than their wings. And this nightingale, it means something that has to do with having a fearless voice. It has to do with speech, communication. It has to do with this song that you want to sing. And this nightingale has an otherworldly voice that is different from those it is around. And it's very simple. They're very simple creatures with brown feathers, and they don't feel the need to have to flash themselves. They enjoy writing and composing and singing, and music really helps heal the wounds whenever they find themselves damaged. And they have an ability to open the bridge between their heart and voice. And they're asking you to reveal what it is that you need to say. When was the last time that you allowed yourself to sing? And the nightingale wants you to turn it up, turn the radio up, write down whatever is on your mind, and allow it to release itself. When this is in balance, it sings and it speaks freely with kindness. And when it's out of balance, it's when it's shy and it has a lump in its throat. And to bring it into balance, it's music. And in the first pile, I had the worst time trying to talk. And it felt like my voice was being closed up. And I even gave a story about a choir I was in. It's a really long story, so I encourage you to kind of like head over to pile 1. But if you were coming from pile 1 and you were coming into pile 4, it's like you were given something that allowed you to actually speak up. You gained the necessary energy in order to do so. And now you are taking another energy in to help propel you forward. You're not just taking in one energy, but you're taking in multiple energies. And I love that if that is the case. But you are finding ways to speak more clearly, and you're finding ways to not have to change who you are or your colors, because you don't need to be something flashy. You don't need to be like everyone else. Your voice is very unique. It makes a different sound than the rest of those around them. The self-care affirmation that is coming through is finish one goal today, even if it's a small one. And I'll give you one small goal if you aren't sure what goal that should be. If you have a radio, or if you have a music app, or even on YouTube, turn some music on. Let something random play in the background, and be okay with that just being the goal. I love simple goals. And when I finish a small goal, I pat myself on the back and I said, I did that myself. And so like my yoga routine, I used to only do one yoga session at a time. And I'm finding that I'm able to do 2 yoga sessions, and I'm able to kind of build on it. Or even just making your bed. I'm a Virgo at heart, guys, and I love orderly things, and just love having a bed made and then being able to relax in it, being able to pull the covers back and actually put myself into bed. Brushing your teeth is another one. Just find a small goal. It doesn't matter what it is. It could even be drinking water. Maybe you need to drink some water. Oh, wow. The moon in the first card was this color. I will say that. And I did talk about the need to drink water. And now that maybe you did drink a little bit of water and you felt like you were in a good good mind state, now you are ready to express something else. But find yourself, find that small goal. Your inner child wisdom is speak to yourself with kindness. The stories we tell ourselves create the patterns which we live by. Each day, our self-talk is either trapping us in old beliefs or empowering us to live a life of love and acceptance. Become aware of how you talk to yourself. Is it with a voice of love? If not, how can you speak to yourself in a way that empowers you? And if you can hear water running in the background, that is my kids brushing their teeth. So find ways to just reward your body, reward your mind. Just make that a goal. How can I reward my body today? Even if it's something small. Maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's just telling myself something kind. So let's go ahead and look at what the release is that we need to focus on, because you may have started the work. You started the release. You started on what it is that you need to do, so that way you have the courage to express yourself, your uniqueness. And now you're trying to find ways to be kind to yourself during this time period. So we have the Fool. And I love that it reminds me of the Little Mermaid. And I did make a Disney reference in the first one as well. It's like, I really do feel like these two piles are just leading into each other. And this one is looking that way, and the camel was looking that way. And I just feel good about it. So if you do have time, I encourage you to watch it. So the Fool is upright, and it's asking you, what keeps you from starting something new? Is it fear, doubt in your abilities? Is it the fear of failure or previous failures? Do you believe your voice won't reach the top, won't be able to reach those that are up here? Are you in a sea, just looking rather than trying? Release the dream world if you've been living in it, so you can create it in reality. Release your old life and be more carefree. Be more free-spirited. If someone took your voice, how can you make a deal to fall in love with yourself, so you can give yourself the kindness you deserve in the world you wish to be a part of? Mindful yoga with a cobra pose. I'm glad that I talked about yoga, and then I thought of how she looks like she's doing like a cobra pose, or it's called upward dog. And if you ever do upward dog and you've never done it before, I encourage you to like build strength in your wrists first before you try it, because it's a major stretch, but it feels really good on the spine, and maybe that will help you open up your lungs. Stretching will help you stretch your voice. Look at the cloak you take with you, and don't forget how unique your beautiful voice is. You attract without having to shapeshift. You don't have to change who you are in order to attract the right people in your life. Release who swam to take advantage of you. And this makes me think of sirens, people who take advantage of those and their qualities. And it's like, you let something woo you rather than you woo them. But you have the capability of singing your song and it creating this golden atmosphere around you that really helps you transform and walk forward. And as you can tell, this person is not walking towards this major cliff, this major obstacle that requires her to have to transform and change everything she is. She's allowing herself to wrap herself with a veil and walk towards a different possibility that actually welcomes her, where the sun welcomes her. Or it could even be that by beginning on your journey, you are even closer to the sun in this background. Maybe you made it to this obstacle and realized that that's not the life you actually wanted. And when you got closer to it, it looked more like a prison to you. So you decided to keep walking and learning different ways to express yourself. But I'm hearing, if you have a goal, let it be something that's really small, because that small goal is going to take you here. It's going to help you be able to speak more kind to yourself. And the challenge that's going to help build resilience is temperance. It's bringing situations that call for you to choose what helps you alchemize. So in the original Rider-Waite Tarot deck, you see this woman who has water that she is watering the earth with, but she's also able to... I think my cat's trying to get in here. So mischievous Loki is trying to make himself present, so just be aware if he does come in. Maybe you're wanting to feel a little bit more mischievous, more daring, and create situations for yourself. Look at the choices that are opposite from each other, that require effort to stay centered. Find ways to harmonize with others, especially ways where you are able to match other people's frequencies, or finding people that will match your frequency. You're singing this kind of energy, and that's what you're wanting to return back to you. You don't want this energy. You want this energy. And practicing moderation, where you are able to find quiet, where you're able to find peace, where you can explore your inner knowing, where you will find contentment and a sense of security. Why live on the edge when you can meet in the middle and actually explore the tried and tested things, the common ground, and allow yourself to actually take time to do that, where you are testing things, where you're able to think it through, especially when you are around like explosive energies, explosive types of people. So in The Little Mermaid, her father had a really big temper, and he let his temper get to the best of him, which led to her making the decision that she decides to go and do things on her own. And maybe that's what is calling to you, is trying to find this balance where you have common ground with someone, so you don't feel the need to have to go out and change everything about you to meet their version. That maybe this is the unexpected, this is that standard that they have for you, and you're looking to see how tall you have to be, and it's too high for you to even do. And so we have her and her facing this way, and they're two different. They have the same thing in common, where they sing, though. That's the one thing they have in common. Maybe you have a common thing with this energy that is coming through, and you're just trying to be able to relate to them. This is a bird and she's in the sea, and those are two different environments. So there are conflicting things. There's like black and there's like night and day. Night and day. Oh my goodness. So temperance is really coming through to say, look at the imbalances that are around you and try to find a common ground. Things that you can find that are similar, so that way you can bring them together. And allow yourself to get to a new normal. Because when you transform, you're transitioning and you're going into a new version of you, be okay with the new feelings that come through. It will feel very different. It's patience, and patience that's leading to new truths that take time to sink in. Or the way in which you allow your body, mind, heart, and spirit to really be able to float with each other, where you're not allowing yourself to think only with your mind. You're allowing yourself to think with your heart. Maybe you have this cutoff between your mind and your heart, which is allowing you to cut off your image around your body. And it's causing conflict with like your spirit. Something is trying to sing through. There's these imbalances that are around you that are challenging you. But these challenges are going to help bring wisdom from those tried and tested things that you actually go towards, the things, because this is a new beginning, this is trying something. And looking at how restlessness will also challenge you, because right now you're in a state where you're very restless with who you are currently, and you are yearning to come up to this level. It's like this best version of yourself. That's what you are trying to go towards. It's what you're trying to swim for. And everything around you is telling you, do it, go, leap towards it. Don't crawl towards it. Actually leap towards it. And now that I think about it, these do look like feathers on her. You have the ability to fly with this situation. That's why you're having to walk, because you have been flying. And now you need to walk and ground yourself. And then once you do so, then you can leap. Then you can start walking into this new version of yourself that the moon is reflecting in on here. When we come down from where we are in our mental state, we learn about our limits and our needs. This is going to teach you about your limits. The things that you are trying that are different are teaching you. And they're teaching you by the more you keep trying, your limits become a different limit, and you can actually do the things that you thought that you couldn't do. I never thought that I would be able to, there's a pose in yoga where you go from downward dog and you look forward like she is, and you bring your right foot in between your legs. And I never thought I would be able to do that. But the more I kept at it and the more I kept trying, the better my flexibility had gotten. And then eventually there was one day, and it was, I had an aha moment, and I just forgot how challenging the situation was. I forgot that that was a challenge in my mind. And she, because I was doing the video over and over again, she said, do the do. And I just did it without thinking about it. And then when I came up from my position and looked at my husband, and he was looking at me like I was this crazy-eyed bird. And I was like, I did the thing I never thought I could do. And which made me feel motivated to keep doing more, to test my limits. And I still struggle with my left side. And so there's those limits. Like you will notice the limits you have. You will notice there will be parts of your body that are stronger than other parts of your body. But now I'm getting to the point where I don't have to grab my leg and then put it in between my hands. I can actually do it. And that's what you're going to discover for yourself. Your Scrabble and your charms are next. And this is Eerie I Go. And not like eerie, like this is scary. It has a scary feeling. If you live in the United States, there's a lake up near Michigan, Lake Erie. That is what I heard from this. And this made me think of the lake, Lake Erie. And Erie symbolizes, Lake Erie does, perseverance, bravery, and nature's power. And Erie stems from the Iroquoian name long-tailed cat, and you did have the tiger's eye here, referring to wildness. It supports intense storms and abundant life. So we have this abundant life that is around us and it's being supported. And Lake Erie it has their own monster called Bessie. And it almost makes me think that allow yourself to let Bessie come with you. Whoever that may be, whoever that monster is, maybe it's who you think is the monster. Maybe people thought you were the Bessie. And you were like, I'm not a monster. Why do people keep telling me I'm a monster? I'm not a monster. And so you prove them wrong by being yourself. You prove them that you aren't a monster. And because there's this tail, it's like, go long-tailed cat. That's what it's saying. Erie I go. Long-tailed cat. So go long-tailed cat. Go. Wherever you are going, whatever you're transforming into. Because you did have the tiger's eye. And I did talk about the Lion King in the first one. I just have too many confirmations coming through. And it is late at night when I'm doing this reading. So if you notice that about me, just be patient with me. So let's look at your charms. So this is a little bat earring, and it makes me think of what you are echoing into this moon, what you are releasing into this moon, and listening for what echoes back, because there's something that's being echoed to you. This nail file, and I love that it came out with temperance, because I believe it's come out with temperance in another video I've done. And it's focusing on your self-care and things that you can do that promote overall well-being. It's speaking to yourself with kindness and seeing love for yourself. It's balancing your divine feminine and your divine masculine energies. And it's allowing yourself to grow, allowing yourself to be more abundant and more positive. And then we have this rainbow turtle. It's being very slow and patient with the process and being positive about the process. And you may feel encouraged to look at your chakras or areas of the chakra system and what they symbolize, what they mean, and work on one at a time. And when you work on one at a time, you end up having this beautiful colored shell that makes you very protective, and it makes you very stable. And these turtles, they trust their intuition. So whenever they lay eggs in the sand and then they return to the sea, they trust that they will eventually meet up again with the things that they lay. They just trust that they will. And you are being given many, many clues underneath this moon. And it's revealing who is within your circle that is maybe making you doubt yourself, whether it be you or anyone close around you. But you have these clues and you have all the things that you need in order to make a verdict on a situation, because this also makes me think of justice coming through. By balancing the pros and cons, you're able to use the clues. And this little notebook has been coming out in so many readings, but it's a sticky notebook. Seeing what sticks to you, what reminders or what goals that you would like to have in front of you to remind you to take care of those goals. Maybe your mind's all over the place like my mind is sometimes, and you need to ground yourself. Maybe you're like, go on a walk, close yourself, turn the radio on. And this is a blank book. So this is a beginning. This is a new chapter. This is something where you are finishing something and now you are beginning something new. But it's up to you to actually write in it. It's up to you to decide how it begins and how it ends and what sticks to you. You can try a lot of things out, and it's that test and trial thing that's coming through. What doesn't stick for you, you can literally take that page off and then start with something different if it doesn't work for you. But it's essentially just realigning yourself to what works. And this is a Holy Spirit dove, and I love that it comes out, especially in this reading, because it's turning remnants of conflict into statements of peace and progress. So whoever you argued with, who maybe didn't agree with the direction you were going with in your life, you're taking that conflict or that energy that presented itself to prove them wrong. You are not just meant to be a fish, you are meant to be a part of something greater than yourself. And I love that for you, Pal 4, because you are bringing something to this world that is unique and much different than what has been expressed in the past. And people want to follow you because this is a leader and they're moving forward towards peace and balance, and you are beckoning people to transform with you. But let me go ahead and get the debriefing ready, so that way if someone wasn't certain on which pile they should choose, they'd be able to look at this and be like, okay, then I will watch this. But you're more than welcome to stay for it. All right, pile 4, your debriefing is this. You are begging to shapeshift so you can be a part of the world you want to be a part of, but you find yourself being held back. You need to release doubts in your voice, not having the ability to reach people, and release negativity around changing your most permanent features. You are finding challenges to bring more balance and trying methods that help you stay grounded. You are turning remnants of conflict into pieces that connect others together. And you are allowing that what you create, whether it be music, can help you channel pain and regret into something that is positive. With this moon pile, or with this, you may have issues trying to explain what it is you are working on, but by the end of it, you will know that you will be firm in this and that this is the direction in which you want to go. When you see your light reflected, speak to yourself with kindness, especially after completing one's goal, or one goal for each day. Even if that goal is turning the radio on or giving yourself reminders to complete a goal. But that is your debrief for pile 4. I encourage you to watch the rest of it. And if you are ready to jump into another pile, you are more than welcome to. But I'm going to leave you here, pile 4. Thank you for watching and listening. And if you would like to see more content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And share if you know someone who could benefit from this information that would be able to begin on their journey. But I wish you much balance and peace, and I hope you're able to create whatever it is that you're wanting to sing about. Thank you, pile 4.